So this is going to be a quick video just to show you how to use the ivermectin paste to dispense to your horse. If you've never used ivermectin, there's generally a lot of questions about dosages, how to use this and everything. We're going to cover all of that, get through it, and there'll be a little bit of math, but I have it all written out. You'll be able to follow it, take any screenshots that you want, so you'll be able to refer to it later to calculate whatever dose is appropriate for your mini horse or your horse. So first of all, before I say anything about the product, you want to make sure that you get a legitimate product. Now, I will have links up top here where you can click on that. You can check out some of my videos on how to identify counterfeits. I basically just cover this brand, but there are lots of brands out there that are being counterfeited. You want to make sure that you get a legitimate one. It's best, honestly, to avoid online purchases unless you purchase from an actual brick and mortar farm and feed store. If you buy on eBay or Amazon or Walmart, there just tends to be more counterfeits than anything else. So just be careful with that, or get them in person at a farm and feed store. So getting beyond that, this is a legitimate box of ivermectin. It has this tube here, has a plunger with weight markings. It's set to treat up to 1,250 pounds, and it has this dosage ring here. So basically what you do if you're brand new to it is you slide this up to the top. You're going to twist clockwise and get it to fit right into that top notch, and then pop the cap off. And then you can kind of bottom this product out. A little bit of excess will come out, but it's basically at zero now. Now, every time you twist to the left and bring it down one notch and then turn it back to the right to lock it in place, that's 50 pounds. So that would be 100, 150, for example. So it's just going up through the notches to get up to 1,250 pounds. So there's 25 spacers here that you can use. And basically, once you get it to where you want it, say 150 pounds worth, you would just push the plunger, and there is your ivermectin. So let's go through what all these numbers mean. When you're new to this, the 1.87%, it all seems a little confusing, but it's really easy. Break it down for you right here. Now, we have ivermectin here in the box, as we already showed. We have the 1.87%, and then the total box is 6.08 grams. So basically what all of this means is that we have 0.0187 grams of ivermectin per gram of the paste. And if we want to convert that over to milligrams, we move the decimal, we're going to have 18.7 milligrams of ivermectin per gram of paste. Since there are 6.08 grams of paste in the tube, we multiply that by the 18.7 milligrams per gram of paste, and we're going to get a total of 113.7 milligrams of ivermectin per tube. So in this tube, there are 113.7 milligrams of ivermectin. Now, we already discussed that this tube is set to treat 1,250 pounds of weight for your horse. So, and there are 25 increments of 50 pounds each, basically. So if we take the total amount of ivermectin, which is 113.7 milligrams, and we divide it by the 25 increments, each increment is going to give us 4.55 milligrams of ivermectin. So a common, for instance, for people, a common pill of ivermectin will be 12 milligrams. That would basically be 150 pounds or 3 notches on the tube. And just to show you what that looks like, pop this off. It's going to be about that much. Now, a pencil eraser is going to be that size. So just keep that in mind. So let's get on to calculating a dosage for a protocol that your horse or your mini horse might want to be on. And I have a little bit of math here. Let's say, for instance, your mini horse weighs 128 pounds and you want to get your mini horse on a protocol that is 1 milligram per kilogram of ivermectin for the body weight. If you deal in kilograms already, you can skip this step, but if you're in the United States like me, you'll need to do this conversion. We take 128 pounds and we divide it by 2.2 to get 58 kilograms of body weight. Now we take 58 kilograms of body weight times the protocol amount, 1.0. If you were doing the 0.5, you would just multiply it by, if you're on the 0.5 protocol for your mini horse, you would do 0.5 here. If you're on the 2 or the 2.5 protocol for your mini horse, you would plug that number in here and you will get a number here. So this just, since it's multiplying by 1, gives us 58. Now we take the 58 milligrams and we're going to divide by the total amount of ivermectin in per gram of paste, which is the 18.7 from here. And that'll give us 3.1 grams of paste is needed. So a tube size is 6.08 grams. We need 3.1 out of that. So we take the 3.1 divided by that, the total in the tube, it gives us 0.51 or 51% of the tube, or the 650 pound mark on the plunger. So if that was a protocol that your mini horse was on, that's where you would dose it up. So you basically get 2 servings out of this, and that would treat your mini horse. If you were on the 0.5, it'd be half of that amount. So it'd come down to about here instead, and you get 4 doses out of it. If you were on the 2.5 milligrams per kilogram protocol, it'd basically be like 1.28 tubes of the paste. So if you happen to have a tube that looks like this, now this is fenbendazole, this is not ivermectin, but some of the ivermectins are coming in tubes that look like this. However, they're much skinnier and much smaller. This happens to have 25 grams in it. The one for ivermectin will still have the same quantity, 6.08 grams, but it'll be in a smaller tube with a ring style like this. So if you want to use that, and the same thing, since it's still based on treating, I believe, 1,250 pounds, every 50 pound increment will still dispense 4.55 milligrams of the ivermectin. But if you've never used one of these, you pop the cap off and you basically push up gently on the plunger, ever so gently, till you see it basically get right up to here, the stuff inside. And then you're going to slide the ring up gently just to where it's basically touching, and make a mark on one of the notches with a permanent marker. That way you can count, and then just count backwards. 1, 2, 3, and so forth until you get all the way down. Count the number of turns that you have. And since we already discussed that the tube is still going to have the same quantity of ivermectin in it, the 113.7 milligrams in the entire tube of the ivermectin, even though it's a different style, you just divide that by the number of full turns that you have, and you can get an idea of how much each turn will give you in milligrams of ivermectin. So that's one way to do it if utilizing the weight markers on the twisty thing is just a little bit hard. That'll give you a ballpark idea as well. So if you had 25 turns, for instance, then each turn would still give you 4.55. But if you had only 12 turns, then it would be double that number. It would be 9.1 milligrams. So just keep that in mind. And of course, before we sign out, just to let you know, this is for education purposes only. This is not a recommendation on how to treat your mini horse or your horse. Always consult your veterinarian and be safe out there. Thanks for watching, and we'll get back with you on the next one.